Galaga 88 on the PC Engine is a mostly single-screen shooter. The single-screen layout allows enemies to hover in formation. Plus, the player's ship can only fire 2 volleys of shots at a time. In a way, lower enemies shield higher enemies. The player can't advance up to the formation, and the player's shots are limited, so to reach higher enemies, they must pierce through the lower ones. In Galaga 88, stages come in 4 phases. 1. Entrance waves. 2. The enemies join in formation. 3. Enemies advance from formation. And 4. When few enemies are left, they become more aggressive. Each dimension has one unique enemy. Dimension 1 has the boom, which drops destructible pellets when the stage enters its aggressive phase, the 4th phase. This adds more shielding because the pellets eat player bullets. However, it's limited because booms only drop the pellets when there are few enemies and if they are advancing. If a boom dies early, or while it is in formation, then it won't drop pellets. These enemies tend to be in the middle. Sometimes they form a full line separating the red small fries from the blue bodyguards. That makes it hard to see their pellet dropping behavior because they're likely to die before the player can get to the aggressive phase of the stage. Also, note that the bodyguards are the only enemies that can cover the entire horizontal span of the level, so I consider them the most lethal. Dimension 2 has the pin, which takes 3 shots to destroy if it's advancing from formation. If you shoot it before it advances, then it falls with just 1 shot. Also, if it's shot even once and then touches the bottom of the screen, it's also destroyed. So, the pin also offers increased shielding since it takes 3 shots. Its shielding is more frequent than the boom since it's active regardless of when it advances. These enemies tend to be at the sides of the formation. This means that the player needs to travel from one side of the screen all the way to the other to destroy every pin. So, even if the player focuses on pins on one side of the screen, there can still be others that survive on the other side. That gives them time to advance, which is when they are the best at shielding, since they have more health when they advance. Dimension 3 has the Big Bang, which always takes 3 shots to destroy. It also gets bigger with each hit it takes. So, not only does it shield enemies above it by taking multiple hits, it also shields a broader span of enemies by taking up more space. The Big Bangs tend to be in clumps offset from the middle. Similar to the booms, they mainly shield blue bodyguard enemies since they appear above the red small fries. Dimension 4 has the Man of War, which has impenetrable armor. It can only be destroyed when it advances and flips over. When it's in the entrance wave, and when it's in formation, it will block every bullet, constantly shielding the enemies above it. These enemies always appear at the very bottom, so they shield everybody, including the blue small fries. They also don't leave big gaps, so it's hard to shoot past them, especially if you have a dual ship that's going to be firing a double-wide shot. If just one of those shots clips a shielded man-of-war, then both shots will dissipate. Each dimension higher introduces an enemy with more effective shielding, but it's more than a single attribute, like the amount of health. The way each enemy provides cover is distinct. Booms drop pellets, which are not strictly extra health. Pins themselves have extra health, but only when advancing. Big bangs have extra health, but also extra space. And man-of-wars can take infinite shots until they advance. Each enemy absorbs more bullets than the last, yet in a way that's unique from all the others.